Detroit Lions. Oh, baby, that is big time stuff. Touchdown, 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 Detroit Lions. Oh, baby, 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 baby.
Yes. What is going on? It is Tuesday, and the regular season is almost here. So you know what that means. Touchdown Detroit Lions is today with your boy Nick Harkson. How we doing, everybody? I already see Hatter's House in here. What up, doe? Yes, good to see you, Hatter's House. We are back. Last week, I was back here too. It was a little bit of a struggle with the stream, but hopefully this one is much better for you. I see over here it says excellent connection, so I think I got it all fixed. But say what's up once you're in here, and we will get this thing going. I see Hatter's House, but yes, there's some good news. Good news coming from the Lions facility this week. Dan Campbell just had a presser today, and we are going to get into that for sure. But yeah, we can talk a few things before we get too far. Casey, howdy from Northern Michigan. Good to see you in here. That is always good to have people from the northern side up in here. You know what I mean, but the Lions did make some moves just very recently, and many of you may know about these moves. They did get a one-year deal done with Ty Summers, who we just brought in for $1.125 million on a veteran salary cap. So good to see that done. They also dropped some people. They placed linebacker Malik Jefferson and wide receiver Traquan Smith on injured reserve, and then signed linebacker Joel. I don't know how to say his last name, but you can see it scrolling across the bottom when it comes up. It's Joel Iyegbuniwe. I will learn that, I promise. This is one of the first times I was going to try and pronounce it. I'll give it a good college try for you guys. It is Iyegbuniwe. All right. He's going to be a good player, though, hopefully, or just be a depth kind of a special teams type guy. But he was a Bears 4th-round pick a few years ago. He was a UFL standout, and now he's on the Detroit Lions. But let's talk the game that just happened last Saturday before some more people get in here, hopefully. And if not, we'll just keep talking. But please do give me any questions that you got. We'll get this rolling. I like to get back and forth with the chat. You know how it goes over here. And if it's your first time, welcome. Like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends. You know the drill over here on these little YouTube shows. But here we go. Lions beat the Chiefs 24-23 in the preseason game. Sudfeld got the start. I still don't like Sudfeld going out there and starting the preseason games. I am not a Sudfeld fan. He did do a little bit better this week than he did last week. He got a touchdown, but he did throw another pick, which was a god-awful pick. And he just doesn't – the offense is not ran real well with him back there. I don't know. I don't know what the team sees in him. Dan Campbell says that he does have the upper hand in that quarterback room right now just because of his experience and, you know, his knowledge with the offense and everything. I don't know if he feels more comfortable out there with him or what. But when you look at the tape, Hendon Hooker, who had a decent game, he got in there on his, wheels, got a touchdown and whatnot. The offense just flows a lot smoother with Hendon Hooker in there. And it just seems like they have a lot more life. The guys are more amped up. They want to play for Hooker. A lot of the guys say that he is a great leader already. And he's, on the roster right now, the third string quarterback. So to hear that he's a great leader in the locker room as a third string quarterback as of now is a good thing. But they are going to give him a shot, I think, this Saturday against the Steelers. At least Dan Campbell says he hopes to start Hooker against the Steelers this Saturday. So I'm excited for that. I want to see him get more reps. Obviously, the Lions do too. And hopefully he can take that number 2 position behind Goff, because I'm just not liking what Sudfeld's doing. I don't like him back there. And if the unfortunate thing were to happen that Goff were to go down for a game or two or longer, I would much rather have Hendon Hooker back there than Nate Sudfeld. I haven't even seen Fromm play yet. I saw him do one pass to Montgomery today on social media. It's just a short little dump down. Nobody defended Montgomery. And I already like Fromm way better than Sudfeld. So yeah. That's just where I stand on the whole situation. But let me know what you guys thought of this game, what you thought of Sudfeld's performance. He did throw a touchdown. It was a 68-yard touchdown, but it was mainly Caden Davis with the breakaway speed getting to the end zone. That was more of his play than Sudfeld, but, good on Sudfeld to find him. Anyways, the first-team Chiefs offense, the majority of them were out there against our second team or third team, whatever you want to call it, defense. We had some, subs in there. Not our main starters, but they held their own. They held their own against Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and those guys. Only giving up 6 points to them. Now, they did get some deep balls going. They got some big-time plays against that team, whatever you want to call them, second or third. But I think they did well against Mahomes and Kelce and the DBs especially. Yes, they got burned a few times, but they were coming up, making tackles. They weren't scared. Vildor was out there. Amik Robertson, he did get burnt on one play, but it was a miscommunication if you go back and watch the tape. So I'm not going to hold Amik to that. But I think they did well. I think they did well for what they were going up against. And this is promising since we didn't have hardly any starters out there playing. So good on the second, third string defense, whatever was playing against Patrick Mahomes and them. They did get torched a few times, like I said, but that's okay. Growing pains. These guys got to learn. These aren't our starters. So good outing on them. Another person who I thought impressed and did miss an extra point, but hit all of his field goals was that of Jake Bates. Yes, he missed the extra point, but he regrouped and he came back and hit the game winner. This is big time for the Lions to see that. They wanted to put him in pressure situations. They got one, and he came through. Yes, it's only preseason, but from the sounds of it, he's got kind of a clutch little gene to him. Dan Campbell said they were playing a little bowling game. They were throwing the ball. But, it is what it is. It's still a pressure situation, and he went out there and he nailed some clutch throws in the little bowling game they had. So, little ice in the veins there. It's good to see. Good to see. Always want to see the positivity coming through, especially since he's the only kicker on the team right now. Alrighty. But yeah, now we got some people in here chatting. I am going to get over here. Casey said, I'd assume the 53-man roster is already set with the exception of a few positions and wiggle room for injuries over the next week. Also, other teams drop players on 27th, so Lions may pick up cast of wide receivers. Yes, we will get into the wide receiver talk and the 53-man roster talk. Now, Dan Campbell did say, I don't know if you watched the presser this morning, he said there's room for 5 to 6 guys to still make the roster spot. So, yes, you're right, a few spots, but 5 to 6, that's a good amount. Gives guys a lot of hope. I see, there's going to be some struggles. There's going to be some battles. There's going to be some guys who we didn't expect to get cut this year that I think are going to get cut. One guy on the chopping block that I think a lot of guys might be surprised by, James Houston. James Houston kind of been injured over the last few years. They tried him at the Sam linebacker. It didn't work out. They said now he's just going to set the edge and rush the quarterback. That's all he's going to do. Maybe he's not as versatile as they were hoping for. He did get a lot of sacks his rookie year, but a lot of those came in single games. I think he got 3 sacks in one game, 2 in another. That's 5 of his 8 sacks in that one season in those 8 games that he had. So, we'll see. We will see. Casey, yeah, one trick pony Houston. That trick is a great trick, though. So is it worth keeping on the team? I don't know. He is a guy who is on that bubble, though, who's not a guarantee to make the roster. Another guy who I see who could make the roster but is going to have some struggles just because of his size and his position that he's at is Isaiah Williams, the undrafted wide receiver, but he showed some flashes this last game. He did drop a fumble, or a punt. He recovered it, but he had a nice punt return. And then every time he touched the ball, you had the feeling that he could break it for a big-time play. So I like Isaiah Williams, but with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Khalif Raymond in front of him at that little slot position, it's going to be tough for him. Dan Campbell did say he wants to work out some guys at the outside position. Here, actually, I got this right here. Dan Campbell says they want to get more looks at DPJ, Caden Davis, and Darius Fountain on the outside, so they may not look for Isaiah Williams there, but says they can mess around with their formation to highlight his strengths in the slot. So I think they like what he's doing. I think he's going to make the team. He's one of those bubble guys, but his talent is there. So you got to find a spot for him on the roster, I think. That's just how I feel. But yeah, it's crunch time now. They got a week. They got a week to make the team. And like you said, other guys are going to be dropped from other teams. We're going to need to look at that because here we go. The wide receiver room is in trouble. I mean, we've got good wide receivers, don't get me wrong. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Khalif Raymond. They're solid. They're all solid. And Dan Campbell said if they have to, that's going to be their starting three, and he feels comfortable with it. He would like to get somebody else to fill that X role or that third position instead of Khalif Raymond because of Khalif's return abilities. He doesn't want him to be full-time out there on the offense, even though he's a value out there. But if it has to happen, he said he feels good moving forward with that. Now, he also said that Brad Holmes and his department are looking at everything, so we'll find the best guy that fits us, whether it's here or somewhere else, and certainly I'd like it to be here. Now, I don't know who we're going to have step up there. Fountain was having a nice training camp, but hasn't really done anything in any of the games that could be the quarterbacks that are throwing to him. I did see he was wide open a few times, and Sudfeld just completely missed him. The guy was wide open, 12 yards from the next guy around him, and just completely missed. So maybe it's not all his fault, but yeah, we're definitely going to need to make a move there. One guy that I'll bring up that is a free agent. Now, there's not a lot of good free agents out there for wide receiver, okay? And a lot of them are smaller wide receivers. You have, and I'll mention a few guys, but you have Hunter Renfrow, who he's had a good career so far, but I don't think that he would fit in this offense with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond. It's just another shorter wide receiver there, so I don't think that we bring him in. But a guy that I could see potentially coming in, getting a second chance to get a resurgence in his career. And I might get ridiculed for this. I might get killed on here for this. But hear me out. And this isn't a guy who I'm stuck on and I think we should go get, but I could see us potentially picking up to help out this team, and that is of Michael Thomas. Now, he has not had the best seasons the last few seasons. He's been injured a lot, but before these last 3 seasons, he was a top guy in the league. Injuries kind of held him back, kind of fell off a little bit, but Dan Campbell and the boys, they know him from the years in New Orleans. He could come in and maybe fill that role that Josh Reynolds had. He is 31. He's getting up there, but maybe this is where he needs to go to have that resurgence and to fill that role. He doesn't need to have a big-time role. We got Amon-Ra. We got Jamison Williams. Just go out there and get your 500, 600 yards with a few touchdowns, 4 or 5. That's what Josh Reynolds did, and I think that Michael Thomas is more than capable of that. Of course, he'd have to come in and get the chemistry with Goff, but I don't know. It's just an option. It's just an option there, but I am thinking that they're probably going to look at receivers who get dropped from other teams. A team who's stacked at wide receiver who's going to have to make a decision are the Texans. Maybe we get somebody from there. Robert Woods is a name I see circling around. He's got history with Goff, but he is, once again, he's only 6 foot, which isn't that short. That's taller than me, but I'm not an NFL receiver. So, yeah, Reynolds was 6'3". He was a little bit taller. He was a longer receiver. Maybe Jamison Williams can fill that, and then somebody else comes in and does what Reynolds did. But, yeah, that's just one option I could see us going with there. But what do you guys think? Where do you see us going to get some wide receiver help? And should we definitely go get some wide receiver help, or are we going to be good to go with our roster? Now, outside of Amon-Ra, Jamison Williams, and Khalif Raymond, we do have some great pass catchers still. Sam Laporta, you can't forget about him. All the backup tight ends are also, they got their own skill set. Brock Wright, Zylstra, James Houston, who is on the bubble, all can make plays after the catch still as well, but Laporta, the main guy. And then out of the backfield, we got Gibbs, Montgomery can catch, and then a guy who we saw flash big time this preseason game, Vaki. I think Vaki works his way into the offense this year, and I think he gets that RB3 spot. I'm sorry, Craig Reynolds. I think Sione Vaki has proved that he is more than capable of holding that role, and he can move after he gets the ball. He can move after he gets the ball. Hendon Hooker said he's amazing. That came out of Hendon Hooker's mouth. He said, this guy is amazing. So we do have a lot of weapons to catch the ball. That when we drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, Brad Holmes says he's a positionless player. I could see us flanking him out this year more than normal. He's going to catch the ball as soon as it's in his hands. The guy can do anything with it. So I am not going to say that we are completely doomed if we don't get anybody at the wide receiver position. We have so many guys with a ton of skill set on offense. So I think we'll be fine no matter what. But do we need to go out and get another wide receiver, or are one of our guys going to step up? Do we trust in DPJ? Do we trust in Fountain? Do we trust in Caden Davis? A Tom Kennedy? I don't know, but they're still waiting for somebody to step up. Still waiting for someone to step up. So come on, guys. It's there for the taking. Go out and get it. If you want it, get it. Let's go. We need you to step up. I don't know what the deal is. You're a pro. I know it's hard. But yes, let me know, and then I will. Actually, we got some comments coming over here. Hatter's House says, when your job is on the line, there's pressure for sure. And yeah, there's definitely pressure. They're feeling the pressure. Pressure creates diamonds. So we need that diamond to shine. Okay? So come on. We need that diamond in the rough to come out. It's your time. Find your footing. And let's do this. Hatter's House also says Houston probably gone, no availability. I agree. And it's going to ruffle some feathers of the fans, but expect it. This is a team that's competing for a Super Bowl. There's only 53 spots. Availability is the best trait you can have. I mean, obviously skills, all that, but if you can be available, that's number one. And James Houston has not been available for us. He's been hurt already this year again. So that's a key factor in keeping guys as well. What's up, Broski Bear? Seriously, Lions need to acquire legit wide receiver and a D-end. Yes, D-end, we've been seeing that go around for years. Since we drafted Hutch, we're like, okay, let's get someone to go on the other side. We thought Houston was that guy. We already just talked about him. Sorry, I'm holding back a sneeze at the same time. My allergies are going crazy. Sorry. But yes, D-end is another thing. We'll see what we have out of Davenport. Davenport, they said, is starting to make strides, starting to get more comfortable in the defense. He was coming off of a little injury too, so we'll see how that works out. I know that the interior defensive line is feeling a lot better this year. Aleem McNeil taking another step up, they're saying. And then DJ Reader is looking to make his return very soon, along with some other guys. And let's talk that real quick before I get into more comments. But Danny Rogers, this is from Dan Campbell's presser, reported that they're expecting Gibbs, Laporta, Zeitler, Skipper, Rodrigo, and Reader back after Pittsburgh preseason game. That's next week. So that's great. They're going to be feeling back to normal strength, like Danny says there. And that's just in time for the regular season, baby. And I think this was the plan the whole entire time. But once you see Reader in there, I think that's going to make a huge difference on this defensive line. In the past for the Bengals, he's always drawn double teams. That's helped their edge guys get free. When he was hurt, you saw that defensive line really just regress. He's a huge factor there. So I think him being there for the Lions with Aleem McNeil, it's going to draw some double teams on the interior, and that's going to free up Hutch. They're not going to know what to do. They're going to have to either double team Hutch or they're going to have to double team Aleem or Reader. It's going to leave guys wide open, and maybe that's going to leave Davenport to come around on the other edge as well. So I think that's going to be fine there. But yes, it would be nice to have another legit D end. This could be the year that we see us trade for a big-time guy in the middle of the season before the trade deadline, especially if we're going good. We're looking like the team that we're supposed to be. We need to make that Super Bowl run. Maybe the D-line's not performing like they should be. Yeah, we go and get somebody there at the trade deadline. There's always some big-time players we can get at the trade deadline. And maybe this year we go out and get somebody real-time big deal instead of like DPJ or something. No disrespect, but you haven't turned out the way that we wanted you to so far. But this could be that year. But wide receiver, I would say go get it after teams make their cut, see who's available, and we go and get somebody because the sounds of it, nobody's stepping up and being the man that they want them to be. Alrighty. Casey says Isaiah Williams is this year's Mims. Okay. I see potentially only carry 4 wide receivers. Both Gibbs and Vaki can catch with Monty in the backfield. Exactly like I said. Yeah, Vaki and Gibbs are going to be big time in the pass game this year. Get them the ball. Run them the routes that they know how to run. Get them on a little fade route. Get them on a wheel route. They're going to burn the linebackers all day, so that should be money. But, yeah, Vaki is a beast, says Hatter's House. I completely agree. Hatter's House also says, imagine a 5-wide formation with St. Brown, Jamo, Laporta, Gibbs, and Khalif. Sheesh, speed and precision all over. Yeah, we're fine. We are completely fine as long as we stay healthy. Health is wealth, and that's going to be the key to this season. So just stay healthy, guys, please. The injuries, they were scary in training camp. We're coming up on the preseason. I like how they're resting guys. Let's stay healthy this season. Speaking of injury news, we got some news out of the DB room. Danny Rogers, once again, I'm using her today for her news. Thank you, Danny. Says more updates on injury front in the DB room. Ennis Rakestraw is back. Carlton Davis will be limited along with Amik Robinson today. And Terrian Arnold will possibly be back middle of next week. Campbell says he's not concerned with Terrian Arnold. So it's just another precaution there. But that's great news. Like I said, in the preseason game, the backup DBs did hold their own. Amik Robertson had a nice game besides that one play. But there was a little miscommunication. But it's good to see our top DBs, our corners, getting back to full health and ready to go for week 1. That's going to be huge. Even though the backups did all right. They did okay. But we can be a lot better. And our starters are hopefully going to be a lot better. So good news there as well. Let's hop back over to the comments. Here we go. Broski Bear. I think Vaki could get Monty cut. Save some cap space. I don't know about that. I definitely Don't agree with you on that. It's okay. We can agree to disagree. I think Monty has worked so hard. He's a key to this offense. He was squatting 800 pounds this offseason. He's a beast. He is the 1-2 punch with him and Gibbs. He's going to power it in on the goal line. I know that Gibbs can do that as well, but I definitely don't see Monty getting cut. I could see Vaki taking his place once Monty's contract is up, but Monty's definitely on this team. I don't see there's any way he gets cut off of this roster. Hatter's House says, no way we cut Monty this year. Maybe the last year of his contract year, we can move on. Yeah, especially with Vaki there. He's showing that he's going to be something. He has got the skill set once he fully gets comfortable in this offense and they get him the play calls to him. He's going to be a force to reckon with for sure. So maybe that was what they saw. They're like, okay, we only got Monty for a few more years. We got to get another guy because we don't know how it's going to go. Running backs in the league, short-lived. So it is a good move to get a running back for the future, but Monty's definitely going to be on this team this year. Broski Bear says, trade Monty to the Bengals for their D-end. Bengals need a running back. That could happen. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's a possibility. They do have the good D-end there. I'm blanking on his name for some reason, but yeah, pair him and DJ Reader up. Wouldn't be a bad move, but I see them sticking with Monty. They love what he brings. He's got the grit. He embraces the whole Detroit mentality, the Dan Campbell's style. So I think they love what he's doing there. Alrighty. Casey says, trade deadline acquisitions rarely push teams to a Super Bowl championship. There's been a few, and, it can always help. It is rare. Last year, we got the old guy who used to be Seattle's pass rusher and then DPJ. Didn't really help us out a ton, but it helped us out a little. But, we'll see what happens. Last year, nothing got done with Burns. He ended up with the Giants at the end of the season. But there was an option to get him, and I think if we could have acquired him last year, could have made a huge difference for a Super Bowl run. Robin's Nest. What'd you miss? Robin's Nest. Good to see you in here. I'm back. We were just talking preseason game. We talked the wide receiver depth. We talked some injuries, some people coming back. But, yeah, let your questions be known. I'll circle back around. Broski Bear, he rakes straws, bro. Talking about rake straw. Hey, I like him. I think he's got the dog in him. He wants to be a starter out there. I mean, this is no guarantee that Terrion Arnold is going to start week 1, especially with his injury. He has a pec injury, but Dan Campbell said he's not worried about him. I think that Terrion is the clear starter. He was our number 1 pick. You got to put your investment into the guy that you get in the first round. You got to put him out there. But Rakestraw has been making a strong case for being out there with some good playing time as well, just for what he's done in camp. He's picked off Goff. He's made some nice breakup plays. He's physical. He's not scared. He's already showing that he's ready to go. Now, he probably does have some growing pains. Definitely DB, corner specifically, is a very tough position to play in the pros. But I'm liking what we got out of Ennis Rakestraw so far. I love the back-to-back corner picks. We needed it, and we got 2 dogs. I wanted Ennis regardless. And then the fact that we got Terrion Arnold first, I didn't think he would be there. And then to get Ennis Rakestraw as well. Great for our DB room for the future. I like it. Broski Bear, is that vodka in your Coors Light glass? No way. This is water. I can't drink vodka like that, buddy. I drank too much vodka in high school. Now I can't even, when I smell it, I'm like, oh. Yeah, high school, okay? Sorry. Underage drinking. I don't condone it. No way that's vodka, though. No way. If I'm having drinks, you ain't going to see a clear glass, okay? You ain't going to see a clear glass. Trying to keep it professional over here. All right? But Broski Bear, I would gladly have an adult beverage with you anytime. Robin's Nest. Montgomery going nowhere. Everyone else are hybrid out of the backfield. Montgomery is our bulldozer. He is going nowhere. and it still pisses off Bears fans. Yes, that's the best thing about it all. I mean, the best thing is that Montgomery is a beast for our offense and really, the 1-2 punch, the bulldozer, like you said. But the fact that it pisses off Bears fans so much is just the cherry on top. I love it. I love it. Now, speaking of the Bears, we got Broski Bear in here. I'm not saying that you're a Bears fan. I just saw the Bear. How are we feeling about the competition around the NFC North? Packers, of course, we knew were going to compete with us this year. They started to flash towards the end of the year. Started picking up steam. I still think that we're better than them. But the Bears, I think we're better than them as well. The Bears, though, in the preseason, Caleb Williams is looking all right. I'm not concerned. He's still a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. But he's looking all right. Are we concerned with the way that the NFC North is shaping up? Yes, everybody's trying to get stronger. They want to be the Lions now. They want to compete with us. We have a great roster. We have a great team. We have a great mentality. They can all see it. So they're beefing up to try to compete with us. The NFC North is looking strong. Minnesota, obviously, down there, probably in fourth place this year with just their quarterback situation. But Sam Darnold is not the worst quarterback either. I don't want to bring up any bad memories, but his first career game was against the Lions, I believe Monday Night Football when he was with the Jets. That was Patricia era first game as well. And we got torched by him. So this is a completely different team. Don't get me wrong, but Sam Darnold is not just going to be a pushover. He's got good wide receivers. They got a good defense. But how do we feel about the NFC North? Are we still the top dog? I definitely think so. It's going to be harder, but we also made improvements. Are you nervous about the Bears or the Packers at all, or the Minnesota Vikings? I don't think I am. I think that we still own this division. They are coming up. We're going to need to keep getting stronger. But we're still the top dogs, baby. We're still the top dogs. But does Caleb Williams' performance concern you at all? I just want to know. I just want to know in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, let's get over here. Broski Bear, Bears fans are happy he's gone. Monty runs like he has a piano on his back. Swift will get payback versus Lions this season. Arnold and Rakestraw, nice picks. Okay. I don't know if they're all happy he's gone. I lived in Davenport, Iowa for a good portion of my life, which is on the Mississippi River, and is only 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on the traffic, to Chicago. So, the majority of the fans in my hometown were Bears fans. I still keep in touch with a lot of these people. They were mad. A lot of them liked Montgomery. A lot of them were very upset to see his success in Detroit, especially against them when we came back and beat them that game. Of course, they beat us the second game, but when he got that touchdown to beat them, you should have seen the Bears fans that I know, their reaction to that. So I think that it's a mixed bag there. Some of them are definitely happy to have him gone. But Monty still got the moves. I mean, he broke away for a huge touchdown. Yes, he had the help with the blocks from Jameson Williams and everything, but he still got it. Of course, he's not going to have that breakaway speed that Jahmyr Gibbs has. Gibbs is a one-of-one. He's a completely different type of running back. But to have that bulldozer, like Robin's Nest said, I think is a great thing for the Lions to have, and Montgomery can do that this season once again, no problem. Sione Vaki, though, like he said, could take his place here in the next few seasons, possibly next season. I know you want him gone. I can see it. I can feel it. But I don't think that he is going to be gone. Alrighty. So we got the Steelers this week. If you got any more questions for me, let them be known. This might be a shorter podcast just because not a ton to talk about, but we do have the regular season coming up very, very soon. Roster cuts to the 53-man roster coming next week. So it's going to be interesting. Who are you guys that you want to see make the team that is on the bubble? Do you think Isaiah Williams is there? I personally do. But let me know your questions in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. It's been a short show. It's been great talking with you guys. And I'll be back here every single Tuesday, like normal. We're missing a few of the normal people in here. It's okay. I'll see you next week, hopefully. But yeah, if there's no more questions, I'm going to get out of here. I enjoyed my time with you guys. Hatter's House says, I think Isaiah Williams, you want him to stay. Okay, we got another comments. Williams makes it. I think so as well. He was a great receiver at Illinois. I mean, the guy put up numbers like crazy. I was surprised he wasn't drafted. So to have a guy with that skill set, you got to find a place for him. Maybe a returner. He does need to clean up his fumbles. He did muff a few already in both games. But get him the ball. See what he can do. Doesn't have to be out there a full-time guy. But work a few packages with Isaiah Williams in there. And I think you'll be happy. Robin's Nest. I hate if Houston is cut. Great story. He is a great story. And this is one, we did talk about this earlier. But I'll get back into it. Yeah, he's a bubble guy. It's just been his injuries. The injuries, like we said, health is wealth. So him not being available is really hurting his chances. He was hurt the majority of the season last year. He's hurt already again this year. They tried him at Sam. It's not working. They said they have to put him, he's just going to set the edge and rush the quarterback. We had a comment earlier. Casey said one-trick pony about Houston. I said it is a good trick, but is it enough to keep him on the roster? Yes, he had a great rookie year, 8 sacks. I pointed this out earlier, though. 5 of them came in 2 games, 3 in one game, 2 in the other. So is it worth keeping him over guys who can be available the whole entire season? That's going to be up to the coaching staff. I liked what Houston did. It is a great story. Will he make the roster? I don't know. This is a cutthroat league, and you can only keep 53 guys on the team. It's going to be tough for Houston to make this team this year, I think. I think he's a legit option that they're considering cutting, and it is definitely going to ruffle the feathers of a lot of Lions fans. So Robin's Nest is one of them. We're going to be fine, I think, without him, but if it happens, be prepared. Don't be sad. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Hatter's House, don't forget to do the predictions for the score. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. Hatter's House says Lions by 1 million. Let's go ahead and do it for the preseason. Screw it. This is the last preseason game. They're playing Pittsburgh in Detroit, 1 p.m. What do we got? What's our score prediction for our backups going up against Pittsburgh? Because it doesn't sound like any of our starters or a lot of our starters are going to be sitting again. Like I said, Gibbs, Laporta, Reeder, Zietler, all those guys are going to be sitting until after the Pittsburgh game. I don't see Goff getting any time. They said they are hoping to start Hendon Hooker, which I like because I want to see more out of Hendon Hooker. But yeah, I'm going to say, we're going to take the win, and it's going to be 27-24. 27-24 with another Jake Bates last-minute field goal. We're going to be tied, and he's going to hit another game winner. Jake Bates. Derwin Chambers, thank you. Thank you. Come back. Every Tuesday I'll be here. Every Tuesday moving forward, and if not on a Tuesday, I will let you know, but I'm going to be here every week. It's Lions season, baby. We got one more game left in the preseason, and then we're going to the regular season versus the Rams. I can't wait to make Stafford cry again. Robin's Nest, notice the jersey I am holding. I understand it. Just will hate it. I got you. I understand. I'll hate it as well. Robin's Nest says Jake from 70. I think he can do it. I think he can definitely do it. He's been hitting bombs. He's got the leg. They just need to keep his confidence up. I think he's more accurate from further away. I think we've seen that already. The extra point that he missed, just pulled it a little bit to the left. He'll get that cleaned up. But, yeah, the guy is money from deep. So, would love to see another ending to the game with a Jake Bates game-winning field goal. All right, we only had a 1-score prediction. It is the preseason, but we got the Lions by 1 million. If I don't have any other questions, I'm going to get out of here. I always love your company. Please come back next week, next Tuesday, same time, 5 p.m. Detroit time, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate you. I hope you have a great week. Enjoy the Lions game this Saturday. I'll see you next Tuesday. Peace.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!